There have been a few cop shootings. There was Terrence Crutcher in Tulsa. He was shot. He had no weapon. So there was a 911 call. His car was on the roadside, and there was a 911 call basically saying, he was actually looking for help, and then the police officers came. I have never seen police officers. They quickly drew their gun like no man's business. And then the guy in the helicopter was like, "This looks like a bad dude," and he didn't do anything. Like nothing. He did nothing. So basically, what had happened was he went to his car. We don't know what happened.
But why did he reach into his car?
Do you know the funny thing?
What?
His car wasn't even open. So how do you reach into a car that wasn't open? The windows was wound up. So they tased him, and then the lady shot him.
Honestly, I'm just thinking that it's just racist attacks.
But before we talk that it's racist, we need to address one thing.
What?
It isn't wholly racist. There is a problem with police in America. Because when you look at it from statistics, 37%, the percentage of blacks killed is 37% by police. So you also have 63% of people being killed that aren't black, maybe Hispanic, white, and so on. So you also need to look at that. Now, we're not saying there isn't an element of racism. There is. But you also need to address the fact that there is a problem in general in terms of American police. This whole notion that police should be afraid and should have their gun, I don't understand that. And people are out here defending them, saying that, if your life is there, you're not calm.
But I think the reason why police are so wary is because of the gun laws in America.
That shouldn't be an excuse. Your role is to protect and serve. You are trained You're trained to de-escalate a situation. If that is the case, then why do we have courts? Why do we have laws and courts? We should just go around, let the police kill whoever they think is a threat.
That's not...
Let's do that then. Then why are you talking about, Philippines, them extrajudicially killing drug-related offenders, people who smuggle drugs in? Why are we talking about that? Why is America being like, oh, you can't kill people, when you have people in America who are killing people extrajudicially because they are threats? Why do you have that? The police is meant to protect and serve. They have an ethics code, and you have laws in America. You call it the land of the free. You call it a land that has laws and the Constitution, and you talk about your Constitution all day, and people, your law enforcement can't even enforce the law. Rather, they kill off people. That is a real problem.
Yeah, they do need to work on their policing and how they actually ask for
that's the real problem. And then you wonder why
to deal with these issues.
Exactly. And you wonder why people like Colin Kaepernick are like, we're not standing up for the flag, we're not standing up for the national anthem. You still have things like this going on. Again, Tawan Boyd, he engaged police in Baltimore. Basically, there had been a call by his fiancée. They had been in an argument. Police came in. The police version of events was that he attacked them, and then they were trying to restrain him. And then, if you see the pictures of him in the hospital... Was that
the video where they came in and the...
Anyway, so the police apparently, from the girlfriend's, the fiancé's point of view, the police used excessive force because he was already on the ground, in her words, and they were still strangling him, they were still punching him, there were like 5 of them on him, and he was saying, I couldn't breathe. The police say that he was being aggressive, he was attacking them, and even though he was taken to hospital, he died 3 days later. Moving on, then you have Keith Lamont Scott. This was what sparked the Charlotte protest. So, basically, there are 2 versions again of this. Now, there's no video for this. Apparently, the police inspector, I think it's the police inspector, had come out and said, from the video, you can't conclude that what they did, what the police officers did was right. And that should show you something that they haven't released the video. Because if they were confident, they would have released the video and be like, this is what happened. The police's version is that he held a gun and he was not obeying commands. Apparently, he had pointed the gun at the police and they killed him. an eyewitness, and apparently it was a black officer that shot him. An eyewitness says no, he was holding a book, and it was a white officer that shot him. A black officer came later and tried to resuscitate him, but at that point he had passed away. So two versions again. This is what sparked the protest in Charlotte. And interestingly enough, at those protests, a white individual had come out of his car with a gun and wasn't apprehended. So are guns really the problem?
No.
Or is it because a black man is holding a gun, or what looks like a gun, he becomes a threat? Because there was a kid that was holding a toy gun and was killed. So while there are elements of racism, the entire police system in America needs to be reviewed. And there is also an element of this keeps happening, and you wonder,
again and again.
Is it because now the media is sensationalizing it? And I know that sounds a bit insensitive, but the rate at which this happens, it begs the question, this must have been happening like this, or something is wrong somewhere. Because it can't just suddenly we start seeing these things. 732 people have been killed by police this year. Wow. Now, obviously, there are people who would be, necessary, but there are also unarmed people. So really, what is going on in America? What is going on in the police? And what is going on as well with the media? Because the media is sensationalizing this as well. Because they're not talking about
if they
the people of other races.
Sensationalize it, you're not going to know of the unarmed death or
but the
innocent
people
death.
of other races. There was a dude, the same week that Philando Castile and the other guy died, there was a white kid that died. I think we talked about it on the podcast as well. Came out, hands raised, got killed. So really, there needs to be there needs to be a review of police
it's just
ethics.
Going to keep happening. I feel that it's just going to keep happening, and it's not going to stop because it's one death after the other.
And then now there are protests there. The protesters have been attacking police. There's been looting. Don't need to loot, man. There's no need for
not
looting.
Looting, but I feel the protest is needed. But the thing is, I don't want it to die down anytime soon because when it dies down, a death happens again.
Protests don't solve anything.
But it's a means of bringing attention to the issue.
Because they're not doing what needs to be done. If you want these things, they know very well what they need to do.
What do you do?
And I was telling you last week, you can't have those kind of movements anymore because of the attention span of people. What you need to do is economic boycotts. What you need to do is to have an organized political movement. If you don't have a movement, at least control the money that funds these campaigns. You know these things. You've been saying it for years. We've been saying it for years. Hit them in their pockets and build a political campaign.
Yeah.
There's also people who are saying, perhaps black people shouldn't vote. Because if black people vote, Hillary will win. If they don't vote, Trump will win. And let America see what America really is. You understand? Let America implode and then they'll see what America really is. But there needs to be legitimate means of... Because you protest, you're looting your neighborhoods... It ends, you need to rebuild and things like this, and you're not solving anything.
Not doing anything, You're just going round and round with no change.
And it's just frustrating because you're not solving anything.
We need someone to actually step up and be like, okay, guys, this is what we need to do.
There's leadership.
But that leadership needs to change, not just do protesting and all those. You need to change.
I hope they're doing, I would like to believe that they're doing this, but the followership needs to follow. It's not just about retweeting and liking and, saying fuck the police.
Yeah.
Because really, if you fuck the police, there's no law and order. The police are unnecessary. But you need to push for greater scrutiny of individuals who are coming. The lady who shot Terrence, is it Terrence?
She's on leave right now.
She's never been so scared in her life. Scared of what? The dude was walking away. Nothing.
He had nothing on him at all.
It's just sad, man. It's just... our hearts go out to the families, man.